Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Wednesday, July 16th, 2025. Stand up for your country. Exceedingly busy day. So we did the Piers Morgan show. I think that's in America and in Great Britain and all around the world. We did the Hannity radio program. Hannity's got 700 stations now. I got 300. I thought that was pretty good. So he is by far the radio leader. We did that, and we do it every Wednesday. And then on to News Nation, we'll have the Three Americans tonight on Cuomo, I believe, plus all the breaking news that we have to stay on top of and advance the story for you. You know, one of the things that's annoying is that the television news in particular does the same story over and over and over and over again. And Epstein is a great example of that. But I did make some points on Piers Morgan that I think kind of close the circle on this story. It'll still be there, but it's losing some steam. Okay, I'll update you in a little while. Talking Points Memo is about this cutting $9 billion more out of the federal budget. So as you know, Democratic Party doesn't want to cut anything. They're fine with a $36 trillion debt. They want to raise the debt. And the Republicans have gone along passing a law that raises the debt by $2 trillion. That was what the real conservative, far-right Republicans objected to. But $2 trillion is a lot better than $8 trillion, okay, what the Democrats would do. And Trump's saying that, look, all this tariff money coming in is going to bring the debt down. I'm not sure about that, okay, but there's a lot of tariff money coming in. There's no doubt about that. So now this week, the fight is over, taking money away from NPR and PBS. In the 4 years that Biden held office, they got more than $200 million. It's a total waste of money. Let them compete on their own. Compete against me. I'm ready. I'll take you on. I don't want to you don't deserve my tax money because you're not fair and you're not providing any service other than to promote the Democratic Party and liberal causes. Okay, there's no doubt about that. So to advance the bill, it looks like it's going to be 51-50. It'll pass in the Senate with Vice President Vance, the tiebreaker. We know that Susan Collins of Maine, Murkowski of Alaska, and McConnell of Kentucky will vote against defunding NPR and PBS. These people, they don't want Trump. That's an anti-Trump vote. I mean, tell me the turtle, Mitch McConnell, wants this NPR and PBS to be funded by his tax dollars? No. It's like, I hate you and I'm going to vote against everything you've got. In the House, it'll probably pass too. So bye and good riddance, all right, to that public money going to those agencies. And let me just prove it to you. Can I prove it to you? So last night, you know, the All-Star game was on. I was in and out, but there was a documentary on PBS. It's called Trump's Power and the Rule of Law. It was Frontline. Now, Frontline used to be good, and now it's a left-wing thing. All right. It's like 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes used to be good, now it's a left-wing thing. That happens. So Frontline has a 1 hour and 22-minute documentary. I watched about 20 minutes of it. It was boring. And I knew where they were going, that Trump's a fascist. He's using his position as president to violate, break laws, whatever it may be. So I asked my crew, and they did a really good job, my producer and research crew, break this documentary down. Here it is. 1 hour and 22 minutes on PBS last night, 10 Eastern time. They had 19 anti-Trump guests, 19, 4 pro-Trumps. Okay. They spent 2 minutes and 18 seconds promoting Trump's point of view out of 1 hour and 22 minutes. 82 minutes. 2 minutes, 18 seconds. The rest was anti-Trump. Here's a taste of it. Go.
Trump would send a message to the lawyers, attacking powerful law firms that had crossed him in the past.
We're going to sign some executive orders. What they've done is it's just terrible, and it should never be allowed to happen again.
He ordered the firm's security clearances revoked, that they be denied entrance to all federal buildings, their government contracts canceled.
This is just gangster stuff. I mean, it really is. This is mob-style intimidation, because what it is saying nakedly is that I can essentially destroy the law firm.
All right, so that guy is Eugene Robinson, hates Trump, far-left columnist for the Washington Post, MSNBC commentator. Now, it would be okay to use him if you had somebody going, Eugene is full of hooey, like me, coming up behind Eugene. Then it'll be okay. But they just stack it, all right? So why should I pay for that? Why should you pay for that? Let Eugene pay for it. I'm not paying for it. So this is a very good thing that's happening this week. I mean, enough's enough with this, all right? PBS, let me say it very clearly, PBS and NPR are a disgrace. Yeah, they have the four tops on sometimes, and I like that. But the management who runs PBS and NPR, disgraceful, dishonest, intellectually dishonest, ideologically. All right. And there is craziness on the right, too. When I say that, some people go, oh, you can't say. Of course I can say that. So I wrote a message today on BillO'Reilly.com. It's free. You should go there every morning and get it. And I said, who has more loons? The far left or the far right? Now, I got a letter the other day. What's the far right? Well, that would be the Klan, the Proud Boys, those people. All right. So who is more people associated with the far left or the far right? I say the far left because of the urban situation, the cities, LA, San Francisco, Chicago, Boston, New York, Baltimore, DC, on and on and on. They're run by leftists and who are elected. So I think there are more far left loons than are in this country than far right loons. One of the far right poster gals for extremism is Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, she tried to derail President Trump selling weapons to NATO, who would then give those weapons to Ukraine to defend itself against the heinous Putin. Marjorie didn't want that to happen, even though the USA is making money from it, okay, and is giving the Ukrainian people hope that they'll survive. No, Greene doesn't want it. Because Greene doesn't want any money from the United States going to anything, any conflict overseas. So I'm saying to myself, this is not a majority position in the Republican Party. There is an isolationist crew, but it's not large. Okay, all polls say that. But on a historical basis, what does Greene think is going to happen when Putin starts to invade other countries? It's not going to just stop in Ukraine. If we surrender, like Biden did in Afghanistan, Chinese will go into Taiwan, and Greene doesn't care. Doesn't care. That's just stupid. Okay, I'm sorry, there's no other word. We live in a global economy. You can't have communist nations or dictators like Putin running wild, slaughtering children and women. You can't have it. ICE. So attacks on ICE up 700%, according to the Department of Homeland Security, in the first 6 months of this year as compared to the first 6 months of last year. Raw numbers, 79 assaults on ICE agents as opposed to 10. The reason is that far-left politicians are inciting this violence. Here's an example. Go.
This is Gestapo-like behavior, where plainclothes officers wearing masks are terrorizing immigrants who are doing the right thing by going to court, following up on their immigration proceedings, and trying to come into this country lawfully, which is through asylum.
Now, that is Congressman Dan Goldman, who doesn't understand what the Gestapo was. If he were sitting here in a debate, I would say, well, what was the Gestapo in the Third Reich? What did they do? You don't know. But the inflammatory rhetoric, unstable people, lights the fuse of violence. There you go. Tax day's over, but for many Americans, the trouble is just beginning. If you missed the April 15th deadline or still owe back taxes, listen up. The IRS is filing more than 5,000 new tax liens every day. And with tools like property seizures, bank levies, wage garnishments, they are applying pressure at levels we have never seen. But Tax Network USA has you covered. Are you self-employed or a business owner? They specialize in cleaning up financial chaos to get you back on track. You can still regain control. The consultation is absolutely free. Acting now could stop penalties, threatening letters, and surprise levies from escalating. So please call 800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/bill. Deadline is passed. Let Tax Network USA help you before the IRS makes their next move. 800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/bill. Okay, YouTube, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about people who hate the United States on YouTube. You can dial it right up, free, youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. We hope you do. Let's go to the mail. We got John on the message board. You know, if you're a premium or concierge member, you get to go on a message board and talk to other premium concierge members. It's a lot of fun. And you learn stuff. John says, as a 75-year-old third-generation Californian who lives in the Bay Area, I'm embarrassed that I'm from here. Quality of life used to be great, but now it isn't. The only good thing is the weather after liberal loons took over and made it a one-party state. That, I understand what you're saying, but the liberal loons didn't make it a one-party state. The voters did. They're responsible. Michael, concierge member. Thank you, Michael. People of California who want to leave can't. They own a home. They can't abandon it, lose the equity. Where can they find someone crazy enough to buy their property? You can sell your home in California. Now, I don't know. Each real estate district is different, but you can move the house. So if you want to get out, there are hundreds of thousands of people getting out. Larry, concierge member. President Trump being played by Putin seems to be a fair description to me. Okay. Janet, if sanctioning the banks in Russia was a favorable thing to do, President Trump would have done it already. He knows when the time is right. So we have the people that will, you know, whatever President Trump does is fine. And the people, you know, no, it isn't fine. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. Lorraine, I've read on different platforms about federal government collected $70 billion in tax revenue this June because of new tariffs. $27 billion. So you want, but I'm glad you wrote, Lorraine, to me. You want the number? We'll give you the number. Not 70, 27. A lot of money. Nick Maris, Montreal, Canada. Nice town. Hey, Bill, what's happening with Putin? Now Donald Trump selling weapons to NATO and NATO giving the weapons to Ukraine. Are we heading to World War III? Don't think so, but nobody knows. But you just can't let Putin run wild. You going to let him slaughter the Ukrainians? No, can't do it. Regis Gamont, also from Montreal. Could you mention that after the Ukrainian coup, NATO came into Ukraine in 2014? That would be informative for us in North America to better understand the influence NATO has at Russia's border. NATO is not formally associated with Ukraine, but Ukraine is a free country. They can associate with anybody they want. So it really doesn't make a difference. Putin has no right to tell Ukraine what to do. And that's the crux of this matter. Egon Schmoll, Wantagh, New York, on Long Island. On yesterday's No Spin News, you mentioned Governor Newsom has run a huge deficit since taking over in 2019. I thought states were required to balance their budgets. No, there's no thing in the Constitution that says states have to balance their budgets. In fact, 34 states are fiscally viable and 16 are not. Okay? 16 states are in huge financial trouble. There's no law that says states have to balance budgets. Jacob Seitz, Windsor, Colorado. I enjoyed your message in the Smart Life segment about Roth IRAs. I am 27 years old, and I started 5 years ago. I have accumulated $42,000. Way to go, Jacob. See, now you're on a good pathway. 25 years old, you got $42K in a Roth IRA. That's not taxable, okay? And you build and build and build and build. So when you retire, when you stop working, or even something bad happens to you, whatever, you're going to be protected. Very good. I'm very happy to hear that. Vincent Vitale, Lexington, Kentucky. I appreciate you sharing the clip of Neil Diamond. He's a legend. But you are a legend too, O'Reilly. Please take good care of yourself. Well, I appreciate that, Vincent. I do the best I can. But after a certain age, it's all luck. Genes, DNA. But, I'm watching, I'm getting the exercise. I'm not eating the sugar, not eating the carbs nearly as much as I used to. I got the sourdough bread going, which is better than the other bread. And it doesn't throw all that sugar into your system. So, but I appreciate the compliment, Vincent. Thank you. Bob Longo, Spring Hill, Florida. I read the piece from Cindy Adams in the New York Post on Confronting Evil. Can't wait to get my copy. You can pre-order it on BillO'Reilly.com. You get it first. Confronting Evil, going to be a big book. I mean, the pre-orders are very strong. And another indicator is that the bookstores, Barnes & Noble and Amazon, all of those, they're ordering big quantities of this. Now, if you become a premier concierge, remember, this is the best deal. So, number one, you get access to everything we have, and we're going to have specials on Confronting Evil. We're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. But you get the book free, or any of my other books. And you get enormous discounts. Say you want to buy all the books, okay? All the killing books and the confronting books together. We keep the price down, but you'll get, 15% off? Big discount. So remember, holidays and all of that stuff, best deal. Confronting Evil out September 9. You want to reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. How about the store? We got our newsletter we want you to get free. And when you sign up for the newsletter, you get the message, you get the column, you get all of breaking news, my analysis on it, sent right to your phone. It's a good deal. Got the Not Woke gear, you know about it. A lot of fun. Back with a final thought on two good books to read. Prescription drugs in America. They cost way too much, we all know it, especially compared to other countries. That's because Big Pharma sets the rules, makes us pay the price. Thankfully, President Trump just signed a new executive order to lower those prices. But change takes time. So All Family Pharmacy is stepping up and offering 20% off all meds. No insurance needed. Now through June 30th. Get more than 200 essential medications, including your daily maintenance meds, antibiotics, and ivermectin. All orders include a doctor's prescription and shipped straight to your door. So please visit allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill. Use promo code BILL10 for 10% off. Take your health into your own hands. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/Bill, code BILL10. We know credit card debt is crushing American families, and summertime expenses make it even worse. Most people rely on credit cards that charge 20, even 30% interest. Homeowners, you do not have to keep living like this. American Financing has a smarter, more strategic way to get your finances in order. They will show you how to use your home's equity to pay off that high interest debt, One low payment, no upfront fees, just honest help from salary-based mortgage consultants. Their customers save an average of $800 a month. And if you start today, you might be able to delay your next 2 mortgage payments. So don't wait. Please call American Financing, 888-462-9557, 888-462-9557. AmericanFinancing.net/bill. Take control of your financial future today. Here is the final thought of the day. So as mentioned, Cindy Adams wrote a nice piece in the New York Post about confronting evil. And it was interesting to see what she picked out of the book. And Putin led the article. But not Putin now. Putin as a kid. And this is the strongest piece of research that Josh Hammer, he's now my new co-writer, and I came up with. We trace Putin back to 12 years old. Putin's always been a killer. I mean, as a teenager, he was slamming other kids in the head with concrete. Where do you see this? And how he became the richest man in the world. Putin's the richest man in the world. Can't spend the money, can't go anywhere. So anyway, we appreciate Cindy Adams. Now, there's another book I just finished. It's on Clint Eastwood. It's by Sean Levy. It is a very good book if you like Clint Eastwood. You got to like him. But what I took out of that book is there has never been a person in Hollywood who has done more than Clint Eastwood, acting and directing when you combine it. Never in the history of movies. It's amazing how much the man did. But why I like Eastwood, and I know him, he's 95 now, is he came from nothing. Nothing. No advantages. Okay? And he developed himself into a titan. And the story is there. So I enjoyed the book, but you got to like Eastwood. It's like 400 pages long. And I'll have some other books for you, in the next week or so. I have a whole bunch of them. I'm getting through them now. So that's it for the No Spin News tonight. I'm Bill O'Reilly. We always appreciate you watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com premium or concierge member today.